Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Scrap Empire. My name is Zach Hayes, and today we're going to be featuring a special middleweight bout this upcoming UFC Fight Night, and that's featuring Derek Brunson and Darren Till. Right now, there's a very, you know, not unorthodox, but intriguing style that Darren Till shows. All right. Number one, when you hear his accent, you'll be able to determine or make the determination that he's comes from he has an English accent, or he's English, or he has um, or he's British, or for the way how he speaks, right? Because again, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, finding out who the fighter is, right? And again, this is when the paying attention comes into fruition. When you listen to how they talk, the tone, the accent, the enunciation, you have the capability to make a correct assumption, towards the geographical location that that specific person resides in. Now, I'll go into, big details. So, I was at a park near my home in Brooklyn, New York, and I hear this man walking by me. He was with another gentleman, and I just heard the tone of his voice while he was talking. So I asked him. Well, he walked up to me and asked my friend for a lighter, right? Because he was smoking a cigarette, of course. And I'm sitting right next to my friend. So since I'm sitting right next to my friend, I'm observing everything. And I asked, "Excuse me, sir, are you from London?" Now he responds back and he tells me, "No, sir, I'm not from London. I'm from Brooklyn." But of course he's traveled, just he's never been to the United Kingdom. I have family who lives in the UK. That's not the point. However, again, Darren Till has British and English, connections. And I mean that within his bloodline. He's from the he speaks with a British accent. Now Darren Till, over the way how he fights, he fights like his body structure is, he's morphed as if he's an alien, if that makes sense. Just the way his posture is, like, it's just he's a plank board. He has the posture of somebody who has a plank board. Darren Till. Not only does he have the posture of somebody that has a plank board, he's just he stands straight as if his body is shaped like a pen. Not only does he stand straight as if his body is shaped like a pen, he stands as if he stood up for 9 to 11 hours every day for his whole entire life. He didn't go to school. He didn't have homeschooling. He didn't have formal education. Nor was he self-educated. He just stood up and just allowed his body to just take all of the pain and just discipline, to have a great disciplined style that he could focus on. Now Darren Till, stands up and he shows that he has a lot of class, and he shows that he has a lot of integrity just over the way how he stands. Observe, don't first impression, right? I always check the posture. I don't check the way how they walk. I don't check the way I don't listen to the words that come out of their mouth. Nor am I concerned with accent and what they do for a living. Just observe the posture. Because the posture already tells you enough right there. But pay closely attention to it. Is it a prideful posture? Is it posture low? Right? You have to really analyze and really, 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 really be specific with what you're seeking when you're analyzing people. Now, within the first couple of rounds, he fought his opponent on UFC Fight Pass, right? But for all of my true mixed martial arts fans, you should know that the fight the fight ended up being a majority decision. Now, because the fight ended up being a majority decision, let's take a seat. Let's sit down and really and see why it was a majority decision. Or not so much see why, but let's just get into detail what the fight was about. Now, within the first round, Darren Till, staying extremely focused, accurately landing his targets, right? Throwing those punches as if everything, as if his whole life depends on it, right? He's staying there, he's staying poised, and he's throwing the punches that he wants to throw. Okay? And, first round and also the second round, he's landing his strikes and he also dropped his opponent. Now, within the third round, Darren Till got a little surprise from his opponent because if you look really closely in the third round, Darren Till was getting pounded to the point where I thought the referee had the ability to stop the fight. Now, but he didn't stop the fight, and from a perception standpoint, Darren Till he looked like that he had more in the tank. He looked like that he had more to fight for, right? And even he threw a check hook and he hugged onto his opponent. So that's what I call true gladiatorship. That's what I call true that's what I call true sportsmanship. That's what I call class. That's what I call true masterclass fighting, as the Brits would say. Masterclass, right? Bloody hell, you put up a masterclass performance. And that's what's so interesting about I noticed the Luke Campbells, the Lennox Lewises, the Nigel Benns, the Frank Brunos, the Chris Eubanks, the Chris Eubank Juniors, the Tyson Furies. I noticed a lot of people within that European, I noticed a lot of people within a specific region in Europe, which is Britain, which is the United Kingdom and Ireland, even Conor McGregor. They have those styles, and even in France. Look at Cyril Gane. Those styles are very unique in terms of movement, but not only are they effective, they get the job done, they're able to get victories, and it shows that every geographical location is going to have a certain style that just exhibits who that fighter is. People have to really understand fighting to get a glimpse of what I'm saying. People really have to understand fighting to really have a true foundation of what I'm saying. People really have to understand fighting to really get an analysis of what I'm saying. Now, let's get started with the fight between Derek Brunson and Yoel Romero. Now, we all know that Yoel Romero is one of the most acknowledged and most respected wrestlers coming out of Cuba. And he also represented his country in the Olympics. And now Derek Brunson, one of the hardest hitted fighters in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. One of the most respected punchers we have in the UFC up to date right now. And one of the most feared guys in the division as well. Right? Here is the thing though. Here is the thing. You really have to analyze and dissect. You really have to sit back and see every little detail. Because, right? Derek Brunson in the first two rounds, yes, again, from a superficial, just paying attention to the way how he moves. Derek Brunson, like he's not stiff, but he isn't fast, but he's throwing each punch with a certain, like he's throwing the punches with purpose. Again, not with purpose as like every punch standing knock you out, but it's like he's really serious about each punch that he's throwing. And because he's serious about each punch that he's throwing, you're going to see enough. You're going to see the results. The results. You see the results is inevitable. You see the results is inevitable. So I would like to say this, right? Yoel Romero, was having a hard time just getting a glimpse of your style, just getting a glimpse out of how you move in the ring. Just, you have a very, very, your punches, when I see the speed of the punch, it isn't slow, it isn't fast, but again, he's a precise puncher, and those precise punches are going to do some severe damage, right? Even throughout the fight, Derek Brunson was throwing strikes. He was landing those punches with pride, and he was landing those punches, every time as if he timed Yoel Romero before he even attempted to time his own self, right? But you now go into the third round. This is when this is when the wrestling experience is gonna come. It will come into fruition, right? Because Yoel Romero, using his technique, getting Derek Brunson on the ground, having him in a full guard, have him in the half guard, have him under a full mount, and figuring this guy out. Then it gets to a point, how do you have somebody on the ground who you're going up against? You're able to pound them, 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 pound them. Right? And Yoel Romero just kept on hitting, just kept on throwing the right hand, just kept on throwing the everything to the face, everything to the nose, everything to the neck, everything to the stomach. He kept on getting the shots that he wanted so badly throughout the fight, because the first 2 rounds he had a hard time. Then third round kept on getting the shots. That's when the referee had to stop the fight. He stopped the fight. Yoel Romero got the win that he deserved. Yoel Romero got the win that he strived to get. Yoel Romero got the win that he wanted to get. Yoel Romero got the win that he seeked for. Yoel Romero got the win that he aimed for. Yoel Romero got the win that he was destined for. Discipline and strength was exemplified that night. Now, I broke down my analysis of Yoel Romero and Derek Brunson. And I also broke down my analysis with Darren Till against a gentleman that he went to the majority decision with. Now, who do I see winning against Derek Brunson and Darren Till? Now, even though Darren Till almost got knocked out, or not so much knocked out, but the referee almost had to stop the fight, right? You still have to give Derek Till credit for not surrendering, not giving up. And he was in the same position that Derek Brunson was at one point, but Yoel Romero stopped him. But Darren Till not only got up, he stood his ground, and he was able to not lose, not win but not lose, not win but not lose. And that's what's really important. That determination and the strength is going to allow you to overcome those tough and difficult times. Derek Brunson, I'm not saying you can't get the victory that you want. I'm not saying you can't get the victory that you've been working on for a long, long, long time. But it's going to be up to you to prove everyone wrong. It's going to be up to you to be the underdog and still not succumb to the doubters. Still not succumb to the haters. Still not succumb to the predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Scrap Empire. Like, comment, subscribe to my content. Thank you all for watching my channel. I'll be posting more videos soon for all of you guys. And please leave any feedback. Please leave any constructive criticism that you think will allow me to help my channel grow. Thank you all for watching my content. Bye-bye.